Hey guys, it's Sarah, Less of Sarah. I have made about a bajillion videos this week, I know, and I'm back with another one today. I guess I just have lots to share with you guys, and I feel like if one person is helped or amused or entertained by any video that I put out there, it's worth sitting down and making one. So I've been doing a lot of thinking the last couple of days about the video that I made on Monday. And that video was about a number of things. It was a response to Kristen VSG Heart on My Sleeve. She had asked me about getting to a point in your journey where you're sort of happy where you're at. Not that you don't obviously still want to get to goal and that sort of thing, but being happy where you are and having fears about getting to goal. She was asking in the sense of appearance, about being afraid of what you're going to look like at goal and that sort of thing. But just in general, having fears about getting to goal and whether being in a place where you're happy with where you are can be dangerous when it comes to your journey. Whether it can make you complacent or, unmotivated or lax or whatever. So that's what Monday's video was about, and I had lots of great comments in that video, so thank you to everyone who commented. You had lots of really profound things to say and definitely made me think. And then there were I think 4 people who made video responses, so thank you. Michael VSG, West Coast Rust, Miss Dangerous, and Miss Janie here. You guys had great things to say in those videos, and it's just always good to know that you aren't alone in the way that you're feeling about things. So I guess I wanted to make a video today because I've had some realizations about the feelings that I've been having and the fears that I've been having related to goal and some other stuff that I talked about with Sarah, Nerd, Oregon, the other day. So Sarah made a video yesterday talking about some struggles that she's having right now, and I thought it was really brave of her to do that. And you know what? I can't talk about her right now because I just think she's awesome, and so excited that I'm going to be getting to spend time with her. Anyway, sorry. I'm having an emotional day. But we had talked the day before that, so on Monday, about some issues that we were both having from the point of view of sense of self and social situations and not knowing where you fit in. And I realized in that conversation, and then the other, things I was thinking about with the video that I made on Monday, that a lot of my struggles actually all relate back to sense of self. Whether that's about being concerned about my appearance, whether it's about being concerned about getting to goal in general, whether it's about social situations, it all relates back to feeling lost, feeling like you don't know yourself anymore. And I've talked about looking in the mirror and not recognizing the person looking back at you, but it's so much more than that. It's not just about how I look, it's about who I am as a person. It's about feeling like I haven't really changed, but yet knowing so much about me and so much about my life has changed, and trying to reconcile those things. I feel like I'm still the same person, and yet I'm treated differently, I'm looked at differently, and my life is radically different. So can I really be the same? And I think everybody deals with this in one way or another. I just think it hits people differently at different times, and until it happens to you, I don't know if you can totally understand how pervasively disconcerting it is to feel uncomfortable in your own skin, almost to feel like you can't identify yourself, that you don't know how you fit, that you don't know where you belong or how to act. And so I realized that pretty much all the fears and struggle that I have right now, they're all related to that. Talking about getting to goal and talking about how I look, I think a lot of it is just that I don't know how I'm going to look because I don't know myself at that weight, and it's disconcerting to think you're going to be in a place where you have no experience whatsoever with what that is like physically. Not knowing how to dress myself, not knowing how to physically deal with a body of that size. And, you know, even obviously after losing 200 pounds, that is already happening. And yes, it happens slowly to some degree, but I've lost that weight in less than a year, so that's not really a long time to learn to deal with being so much smaller. Sarah and I were talking about social situations, and I absolutely understood where she was coming from because I had been feeling this way as well, but I feel like I don't know how other people view me anymore. So having been, you know, obese since childhood, forever basically, I always knew what my role was. My role was the fat girl. Sometimes I was the funny fat girl. Sometimes I was the like obnoxious, overbearing fat girl. Sometimes I was the smart fat girl, you know, but I was always the fat girl. And there gets to be a comfort in that because you understand your role. But what happens when that switches up? I mean, I'm still the fat girl, but there's a difference between being the morbidly obese 400-pound plus girl and being just the fat friend, the fat girl. And so even in my group of friends, I've started to realize the dynamic is changing. And definitely in social situations where I don't know people, I feel very uncomfortable because I don't know how they see me. And as much as I'm not the kind of person who cares very much what other people think, this isn't really about how they're judging me. It's just about not knowing how to fit in and not knowing how to act, because I sort of feel like a lot of my personality developed to deal with the fact that I was overweight. Most people would say that they feel I'm really extroverted, but I'm not. Sarah vaguely talked about, she referenced the Myers-Briggs personality test in her video, and I laughed because it was awesome, but I'm actually introverted. I'm not extroverted. But I learned to be an extrovert because for me, I think when you're severely overweight, there's basically two things that happen, or there's two ways you can go. You can deal with the fact that people are going to treat you like you're invisible and you can just sort of become a wallflower and fade into the background. Or you can be this bigger, larger than life personality and demand that people pay attention to you. And I guess that's sort of the direction that I went in, you know, trying to be the funny fat girl, you know, the big personality, the fun, whatever. But maybe that wasn't really who I was meant to be. And that's a really difficult and powerful realization to come to, that something about you physically has caused you to actually change who you were meant to be or who you are. It's hard to deal with that. And I realize now that so much of my life and the choices I make and who I wanted to be had to do with my weight and what I felt that I could do and how it held me back and the walls that I built up and all of that stuff. I'm sorry, this is getting really like deep, but yeah. And I hope that Sarah doesn't mind me talking about this because I think she's talked about it before in a video too, but I remember having a conversation with her before she had surgery. And she said one of her big fears was that she was going to get skinny and realize that her whole personality, her whole life was just based around being the fat girl. And that wasn't really who she was. And I understood it at the time, but I didn't really identify with it until now. And now I get it. I totally get feeling like you don't know who you are and who you used to be is just fake almost. But you feel like you're being fake now because you don't know who you are. So I do, when I meet new people now, I'm in a situation where no one knows me, I'll feel super uncomfortable because I kind of feel like I'm pretending to not be the fat girl when inside I'm really the fat girl, and I don't know how else to act, and it's so, I don't know, disconcerting is the only word I can use for it. I don't know what to do, and I don't like that. I guess Sarah and I have that in common, but I really don't like uncertainty. I'm not a big fan of transition. Change is okay. I'm just not a big fan of transition. I don't like uncertainty. I like to know what's going on. And so for me, something as important as who I am. And it's beyond losing weight. I know that losing weight is the major part of it, but everything in my life seems to be in flux and changing right now. My career, my business, my relationships, friends, family. And I kind of feel like it's exciting. And a very small part of me finds it exciting because I feel like I can build a new me. I can be the person I always wanted to be. I don't have to let physical things hold me back. For the very first time in my life, literally the first time, I am convinced that I will not have to be held back because of how I look or because of my size. And that's extremely powerful for someone who has known since I, could have rational thoughts that I was different than other people, that I was not good enough, that there was something wrong with me because I was big. I did not mean to cry in this video. I'm sorry, this went somewhere I really didn't mean for it to go. I don't think you need a crying video from one Sarah and then another Sarah crying video. It's just like too much for you guys. But there's something exciting about that, but there's something so scary about it. And I realize that so much of my struggle right now is related to fear. And those fears all come from not knowing who I am anymore. Trying to make changes in my business and my career, making changes in my relationships. And some things aren't, they're beyond my control. How my friends or my family are dealing with my weight loss and with me looking different and I guess acting different in some ways. I feel like I have to go on this voyage of discovery and find myself and all of this, but for me that's really, really scary. I just want to know. I just want to be confident in who I am, and I sort of feel like all the things that define me are slowly being taken away. So what happens when I can't just define myself as the fat girl? Then how do I act? What happens if I decide that I want to give up my business because it doesn't make me happy anymore and I want to do something else, but I don't know what that something else is? What happens when I'm not the, funny fat designer girl? I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to find out, but it's tough. It's tough to be faced with that on an everyday basis, to be faced with a fear of not knowing who you are or who you're going to be. And I haven't been in that situation for a very, very long time. And again, the appearance thing it's like a symptom. Like not recognizing myself physically, it's almost like a symptom of not recognizing myself at all. So yeah. Wow. That went way to a different place than I expected it to. But it happens. It may not happen to you. But you need to at least be aware that this is something that a lot of people do go through, and it's not just about physicality. It's not just about body dysmorphia. This is about personality dysmorphia. This is about identity dysmorphia. This affects every part of you. It affects how you act. It affects how you treat other people. It affects how other people see you. But the problem is that you don't get to know how they see you, how you fit. And like Sarah said in her video, I know that it will get better. I know that there will come a time when I'll look back at this video, just like I look back at difficult videos I've made over this journey, and understand that I'm through that, and now I'm on to a different challenge. Janie said something in her video I thought was so amazing. She said, you need to celebrate your journey. And I've worked hard to appreciate it, but now I really do need to learn to celebrate my journey every day. Love you guys.